All right, welcome everybody. So this is going to be the first part of our review for the Algebra 1 final. I originally was going to break this into 3 parts, but it's going to possibly be just 2. But I'll let you guys know as we approach class. The way this is going to be is this first review is done on Wednesday. We'll have our second review on Thursday, and then possibly on Friday we'll do a combination new review / get you ready for Galileo for the testing for the final by actually putting stuff into Galileo and making sure you guys can do the split screen and get you guys ready to go. So first things first, Algebra 1 semester. So if you don't have this review, I did upload it to Canvas, so please print it out or come get one in my class, okay? Until I run out of these reviews, I'll have them, but when I run out, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it. So you'll have to go on Canvas and get the rest. All right, on this table below, is it linear, exponential, or neither? So when we had talked about this before, we've done a rate of change, okay? The problem with this particular problem is that it actually does skip around. So if I go from 8 to -4 to -8, end of 7th hour. The problem will be is that if I do these rate of changes, you guys would tell that this from here to here is -12, okay, and then from here to here is -4. So you think to yourself, well, that's not linear, that's not exponential, it's neither, okay? Remember, linear is a straight line, exponential is a curve, okay, where it comes straight and then it shoots up like a rocket ship, or it comes straight and it shoots down, okay? That's kind of the big process, all right? When it comes to this, ladies and gentlemen, graph it, okay? When in doubt. So, big key functionality for you guys. This piece is the equation you need to put in your notes. I need you to make sure you have this memorized. y1, squiggly line, mx1 plus b. It's very important. Then what you do, after you plug this line in, you click this button right here, and you enter a new table, okay? On the table, what's going to happen most of the time is it's going to say x1. You need to change this value, okay, or x2. You need to change it to a 1, just like this, okay? And then when you get done changing it, ladies and gentlemen, it should look like this, okay? What you'll do is it'll be turned off. You have a little symbol there, but don't worry about any of that stuff, okay? It's going to work. Just trust me on it, and we go from there, all right? If you have any questions, come ask me in class, but please make sure you have this memorized. So first things first, let's enter the points. So my first point is going to be a -4, and second one's going to be, it's going to be -4, 8, and then I have here a 2, -4, and the last point is going to be 2, -4, and then my last point is going to be a 4, -8, okay? Big key factor with this is where is the point? Turn the line on, and there you go. Okay, so the question is this linear? Linear creates what? A straight line. Ladies and gentlemen, that is indeed a straight line. Okay, so this is linear. All right, big key things to know with this. Define the slopes. I had also talked about on this, so I was making sure the camera's still going. I defined on this a slope, okay? Slope of these graphs. When you guys print this out, this, if you can't see, is a vertical line that runs right through here. I want you to know 2 things in relation to this. That this vertical line is x equals 2. If I put this in Desmos, it'll graph a vertical line going right through 2. Then, ladies and gentlemen, what is the slope? The slope on this line is undefined, okay? It is a vertical line. Vertical line is always undefined. I can't tell you what the slope of this is because it doesn't exist. There isn't one. It is undefined. Horizontal line, the line of this equation, is y equals 2. It's very important for you guys to know that. Then the slope of this is what? The slope of this is 0, okay? Horizontal surface, your desk, your table, things you're looking at. You put a ball on top, it should not roll. If it rolls off the side, you have an uneven slope. Okay, it should just sit there and stare at you. If it's that, that's the slope of 0. This particular slope here, the m on this would be 2/3. Up 2 over 3. Okay, rise over run. If you wanted to write the equation, it would be y equals 2/3 x minus, because that's a -2. Okay, I do need you guys to know that, and we will cover that more in the next review, but you still have to be able to interpret graphs from here. All right, next, what are the x-intercepts for the following equations? There are 4 of them. Ladies and gentlemen, these are very simple. How do you solve these? Graph them. Okay, I would have you rewrite them, but you don't have time to rewrite all of these. Okay, so if I turn this off and we come to these equations, here's the first one. 4x minus 3y is 12. There's my first one. My x is 3. Second equation, 5x equals negative 10 minus 3y. That is a negative 2. Third equation, x minus 7.3, y equals 10. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a positive 10. And then the final equation here, okay, is if you set this up, it's going to be x is negative 10. Simple. Graph it, move forward. Next. Linear functions. Okay, one thing I want to make sure you guys know about these linear functions is what does this represent right here? Now, I did have a typo. This should say h, just to let you guys know, but I forgot to change that piece. So here's what we're going to do is, what is this usually represented? It's usually f of what when we always say it? F of x, okay? Usually this is an x right here, and then the answer, okay, is going to end up being your y. So, f of x. If I don't have an x anymore, I have a 3. Guess what my point is? My point is a 3. And then the answer is going to be negative 6. So I have 1 point, and then what's my other point? It's going to be 7, 10, right? Those are your 2 points. If you have 2 points, what can you do with Desmos? Graph it. It'll give you the line. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's graph these 2 points, okay? So I'm going to go back up here to my chart. Let me actually get rid of these 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't need those 4 anymore. So let's talk about our table here. All right, we're going to delete these, and we're going to put in the proper functions, okay? So my first one here, my point is going to be 3, and this is going to be a negative 6. And then my second point, as I mentioned, is 7 and 10. All right, simple enough. Once you get to these points in, and you make sure you turn the graph on. When I turn the graph on, here's my line. So Desmos will create the line for you. You're becoming kind of like a computer programmer, if you could say. This is code that you're putting in, telling Desmos you want it to look at this table, pick out the numbers and the values that you put in this table to create an equation. There's your equation, right? Y equals mx plus b. So it's y equals 4x minus 18. That's your equation. If I were to graph it right here, you'd be able to see that. But instead, I don't need to graph it. Instead, we're looking for what is f of 11. So I know on Desmos, this is 5, 10, 15, 20. So I need to go up here on the graph, and you touch the line. So let me go left-handed here. And I need to get to f of 11. The answer is 26. Okay? So I know on here, when I go up to the x value of 11, f of 11 equals 26. Okay? Simply enough. Do the same thing for these 3. Okay? All you do is you put in these points. Okay? You would put in 4, negative 1, and then you would put in negative 4 and 7 on this one. You have your 2 points. Okay? And then you find out where your h of 0 is. Okay? H value of 0 equals, and I think if I do this one correctly, I'll do this one just in case I get it wrong. I'll show you guys 2 examples, and I'll let you do the final one yourself. So this is going to be 4 and negative 1. And then this one, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be negative 4 and 7. So if I put a negative 4 in here and a 7 in here, all right, I have my graph. Okay, go home. When x is 0, because x value is here is the first, when x is 0, my y value is 3. So my answer here is 3. Do the last one by yourself. You guys will get your answers, okay? Hopefully you guys understand the process that we've gone along the way. Okay, second page, flip it over, or get to your second page and go. Question is given the function to the right here, select all the equalities here that are true. Remember, these are all the x values. So we have our equation. So all you do to answer this is you put it in the Desmos, okay? Now here's the trick with this particular equation. when you put it into Desmos, you don't have to put f of x. You can, doesn't matter. You don't have to put y either. Just put the equation straight up, and you'll get this beautiful thing, okay? You get a nice quadratic that we haven't dealt with yet, but that part doesn't matter. What I want you guys to do, and remember this, is now you're looking for values on this line, the x values on this line. And how do you find that? Click the gear, and when you click the gear, you'll see a little table that pops up. You click on this table, okay? And then, ladies and gentlemen, look what it does. Here's the table, but more importantly, what is it doing? It's actually plotted the points for you. So when x is 0, which here is 0, your y value is what? 4. So now check your answers, okay? If you guys go on your paper and look, so I'll keep Desmos up. I have my other paper over here. Let me flip my podium around here and look. All right, when you do it, -2 is your first one. On your paper, it says -2 equals -8. That is a true statement. Circle it. The next one, -1 is 1. Your paper says -1 is 0. That's not 1. Okay, your next one, 0 is -4. No, in fact, 0 is 4. What we highlighted right here. So that is wrong. And then your next ones aren't on this table. So all you have to do is plug in the number for x. So I want 4, and then I want -3. So the value of 4 is, in fact, 44. So that one's right. And then your last one is -3, and that value is -23. How simple is that? Okay, it can't get any more simpler than that. You just have to plug in the answers and know what you're looking at and know what you're looking for. Okay, that's the most important key. Any questions on this, come see me in class. Remember, it's the gear, and then you'll see the little picture of the table come up. Please make sure you guys have that annotated. Okay, so on this one, it was this one's right, and so is this one. These two were not. All right, not last, but now we have t-tables, okay? A t-chart is basically just a point. So I could put a little comma here and mark up these points, okay? Simple enough. If I have been given 2 points, what can I do? Put it in Desmos and you'll be fine. So ladies and gentlemen, do that, okay? So on your t-chart here, let's delete these and back these out. Now for a linear equation, I only need 2 points. So technically, I only need to put in 2 of these. If you want to put in all 3, please feel free to at this time. It doesn't really bother me if you do or not, because your line shouldn't change or drift drastically, okay? These are all linear equations. It's not asking you if it's not linear, it's just asking you to put the points in. So you put the points in, ladies and gentlemen, and are we worried about the line? Not really. I'm worried about this right here. Okay, write each equation in slope-intercept form. Remember, slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. It is y equals 2x plus 4. All right, so there's that. Now we know it's going to be y equals. We don't know what the m is, but we know it's going to have an x, so that doesn't change. Let's put this value in. 1, -4, 3, 4. That's easy enough, right? So go back in here on the graph. We backspace these out. All right, so I got a 1, -4, and then I got a 3, 4. So what do you do from there? Now you have your setup. Do you need to worry about anything else? Nope. Your m. M always goes in front of the x is 4. My b is a -8. So it's going to be 4. And since it's -8, we don't write it like this. Okay? That's what it is. But remember, you don't actually write it like that. You write it like this. Okay? Know what the difference is. This is what it is, but you don't leave it like that, right? You just transfer the negative into here, and you go from there. So that's the answer. Solve the last one by plotting out the points, and you'll get it. These next two, okay, did on Desmos. Let me check my Desmos work real quick. So I'm going to, all right, so I moved on to the next two. So what we're going to do is the inequalities here. Okay, for the solution of each inequality below, write the answer in whole numbers or as a fraction only, because you will see a fraction on the test, not a decimal. For example, the answer should be given as follows. X is greater than or equal to 10. That's how I want to see you guys do it. All right, big key functionality with that. Go into, here's your equation. Change the m's to x and graph it. Simple enough, okay? When you graph this on Desmos, ladies and gentlemen, there it is right here. Let me turn this one off. Bam. Okay? When you graph this first one on Desmos, you get an x value of 3. So what does that mean? Okay? What it means is that your value that you're looking for, your m, okay, is actually in this case a letter 3. So we know we have m and we know we have 3. That is where everything ends. The question is which way does this sign go? Okay? Is it going to go this way or that way? Well, you need to do it based on a true statement. What is a true statement? A true statement is picking any x value that is in the shaded area. I can pick 2, 0, -4, -8, -100, -1,000,000. It doesn't matter. Pick a number. I always like to pick 0. So I'm going to pick this number right here, okay, because 0 is in there. So what that means is 0 and 3. To make this a true statement, ladies and gentlemen, you eat the bigger one. Which one is the bigger one? Well, in fact, it is 3. There's your answer. Okay, that's how you set that up. On the test, okay, you will see two questions that will look like this, that you don't have to worry about the sign, but you'll see one that you do have to worry about the sign, and that's the one I'm concerned about. I want to make sure you guys know which way the sign is supposed to go. Remember, test out a point and eat that, and see, you always eat the bigger number, okay? Head towards the truth. You eat the truth. You don't eat the other things. So there's the answer to that one. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you have our next one on the board, okay? Oops. Next one on the board is a fraction, okay? Here's this one. Number 2, you click on it, it's -3.5. Okay, here's the kicker with this one. This needs to be set as a fraction. It needs to be -7/2. 3.5 is, or 3.5 is 3.5. If you make that a simple fraction, it would be 7/2. So same process goes. This is the letter x. So which way does it go? Well, it just so happens that 0 is shaded again. So that's the truth. So you want to head towards the truth and eat the truth. There's your equation. Okay? Hopefully you guys understand that process. Okay? I'm more concerned with you guys graphing it in Desmos, entering the equations in, finding how it's set up, and then you push forward from there, knowing where your line is. Okay? It's a very simple setup. I just want to make sure you guys can do it. Most of you can do the math on this. The problem is that we are not giving you enough time to do the long-handed math. So I want you to shortcut through the math and to solve it using Desmos. Last but certainly not least, you have here, what is your y-intercept for each equation? So all you do is you go back into Desmos, okay, and you would answer these equations. So the first one is 13x minus 6y equals -48. You graph that one up. The y-intercept is 8. Second equation, you graph that. Y-intercept is 5. And the last equation, you graph that. Your y-intercept is, in fact, -8. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this first review. We'll have another one in class. If you have any questions, come see me. Watch this video again. Get used to this functionality with Desmos, please. Okay? This, ladies and gentlemen, the equation right here will help. So will this table. If you can do both of those, you will be highly successful. Remember, as I talked about in class, you can score at least a 60 on this final by using just Desmos alone. The other 40% is going to be your head knowledge and just knowing what letters and variables and numbers are in formulas, and we'll go over that just to make sure you guys are fully aware. Until I see you again, study up, and I know everybody will do great.